productivity around the world has risen and will rise as a consequence of the capacity for capital, services, intellect, and individuals to participate in markets where there is comparative advantage. In other words, there is a great allocation of resources, and resources will flow to markets where comparative advantages exist over other markets. This suggests that there will be winners, and that there will be losers. Winners in previous more closed economies become losers, and otherwise closed markets or firms in closed economies that now are participating in the global system may find favor simply because of the comparative advantages that either that firm brings or the resources that perhaps that particular country is imbued with. So productivity will rise. And that's important because it suggests that in this next generation, economic growth around the planet is likely to be livelier than the past. Quite simply because over the long term, economic growth more or less equates to the level of productivity growth that a nation or the planet enjoys. But let me just perhaps bring this back to the questions of where the opportunity lies, or where the threats lie. And also presented a sketch to also suggest that it's not static. At the beginning of this year, the Chinese economy presented its 12th five-year economic program. Probably a watershed event, the third watershed event in the series of economic programs. And you could argue that I believe it was the third economic program in the early 1980s that sought to break the craziness of the Mao Cultural Revolution. That was significant. It was the seventh program in the 1990s that sought to push China's state-owned entities towards greater market orientation. That was significant. But the current program is significant because it is going to bolt on a new consumer to the planet. The current program will seek to take Chinese consumer body from roughly 38% of its GDP to around 45% over the next 5 years. That is phenomenal in terms of reshaping the levers of growth of any economy over the space of time the Chinese would seek to achieve this.